So, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to deconstruct the very idea of creation itself. We're going to break down piece by piece exactly what it would take for an AI to create the very explainer you're watching right now. Yeah, let's just jump right in with that question. What if a human didn't write this script, or pick these slides, or speak these words? What if an AI did the whole thing? And look, this is more than just a cool what if scenario. It's actually a perfect way to understand all the incredible layers, technological and social, that make automated creativity a real possibility. Okay, here's the game plan. We'll start with the AI as the content creator itself. Then we're going to peel back the first layer, the human AI interface. How would we actually talk to it? From there, we go even deeper into the hardware, the literal brains of the machine. Then we'll zoom out to look at the big picture, the promise, the peril, and the policy challenges, before we land on the biggest question of all: what's our role in this new world? First up, the creator. Now, generative AI is already here, right? We've all seen it churn out text, code, and some pretty mind-blowing images. But the next big leap is what we're talking about today: full-on extended video presentation analysis. The ability to create a complete, high-quality video just from a few source documents. And believe me, this isn't some science fiction, far-off future stuff. According to Foresight reports from the UK government, AI is already capable of creating videos so convincing, it's nearly impossible to tell it apart from something a human made. This is the core engine that would power our hypothetical AI creator. Okay, so if the AI is the engine, who's in the driver's seat? How do we as humans actually steer this thing? This brings us to a super critical layer: the interface. I mean, how would you even tell an AI to make a 5-minute explainer about itself? What would that conversation even look like? What's so fascinating is that we actually have data on this. Research from TELUS Digital mapped out exactly what people want from a future AI interface. This chart ranks 47 different features, and what's really telling is what's on the far left, the stuff with the highest scores. They're called foundational for a reason. It shows people don't want flashy gadgets, they want something deeply personal, totally seamless, and conversational. So you can pretty much boil all those top-ranking features down to 3 key pillars. First, deep personalization. The AI has to know you, your apps, your preferences, your rules. Second, seamless conversation. You should be able to just talk or type to it, totally naturally. And third, transparent control. We need to be in charge, able to approve what it does and see what it's up to at a glance. And this quote from a research participant just nails the feeling behind the data. They said their virtual assistant is good, but it doesn't actually know me. What they want is an AI that learns their routines, understands their work, and even knows their taste in music. It's not about a tool that takes commands, it's about a true partner. That's the vibe we'd need to direct our AI video creator. All right, so we've got the what, a video creator, and the how, a personal, conversational interface. Now let's get under the hood. Let's go from the screen you'd interact with to the core technology itself. What kind of hardware, what kind of brain could possibly power something this demanding? Well, for over 60 years, most computers have used something called the von Neumann architecture. The basic problem is that the memory and the processor are separate. All the data has to travel back and forth across this tiny bus, creating a traffic jam, a bottleneck that slows everything down. To power a real AI creator, we need a totally new approach: neuromorphic, or brain-inspired computing, where memory and processing are woven together, just like in our own brains. And wow, this chart really shows you what's at stake. Our current tech is slamming into what's called the digital efficiency wall. We just can't make things much faster without using insane amounts of power. But look where the brain-inspired neuromorphic systems are heading, especially the ones using photonics, that's computing with light. They promise a massive leap in speed and efficiency, basically just smashing right through that wall. And here's a number that just puts this all into perspective. Get this, today's very best supercomputers are 8 orders of magnitude less efficient than the human brain. That is 100 times, million times less efficient. That's the absolutely massive gap that this new hardware is trying to close, to finally give our AI creator the horsepower it's going to need. So, okay, we have the creator, we have the interface, we have the hardware. The technology is plausible, right? You can see the path. But what happens when we actually unleash it on the world? This is where we have to talk about the incredible promise, the very real peril, and the ridiculously complex policy questions that come with it. On the one hand, the promise is just staggering innovation, accelerated discovery. But the peril is just as real. See, today's AIs are trained on the internet, the whole internet. And the internet, as we know, is filled with all of our biases, our ugliness, our skewed perspectives. The problem is, the AI learns all of that as fact and embeds it right into everything it creates. And the list of risks gets pretty long. We're talking about everything from mass disinformation to amplifying those biases we just mentioned. There's even a weird risk called model collapse, where AIs trained on their own junk content start to get progressively dumber over time. And my personal favorite, the AI mansplainer, a system that states total falsehoods with absolute, unshakable confidence. Sound familiar? This right here is why making rules and policies for AI is so incredibly hard. It isn't just one single problem to solve. As this chart shows, it's a whole web of tangled up uncertainties. How powerful will the AI get? Who gets to use it? How safe is it? You change one of those variables and the whole future could shift dramatically. Which brings us to the final and honestly, maybe the most important piece of this entire puzzle. Us. In a world where an AI can create this entire presentation, what is our role? What do we do? You hear a lot of talk about how AI will democratize creativity, making everyone an artist or a filmmaker. But journalist Brian Merchant offers a really sharp counterpoint. He argues that instead of empowering everyone, these tools might just let big corporations squeeze creative workers and funnel all the profits and power into the hands of just a few tech giants. And that leaves us with a truly fundamental question for our future. As AI steps into the role of the creator, what do we become? Are we the curators, just picking the best stuff the AI makes? Are we the critics, whose job is to spot the flaws and the biases? Or are we something else entirely? True collaborators, working in a new kind of partnership that we're only just beginning to imagine? That's the question we all have to start answering.